What is up, you guys? Welcome back. We are in the new 2021 Nissan Sentra, courtesy of Hanover Nissan in Hanover, PA. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so it is a beautiful rainy day here in Pennsylvania, and I am in the new Sentra. Reason being is because there are some tech upgrades actually for the 2021 model year. This thing is priced extremely well. And so in this video, I will be testing out and going over everything about the new Sentra, including acceleration, braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all of that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. Trim level that you go with, the power plant on the Sentra is going to be the same. Powering this little beast is a 2-liter direct injected inline 4-cylinder, putting out 149 horsepower at 6,000 RPM, 146 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 4,000 RPM. Power sent to front wheels through a CVT. 0 to 60 time comes in at approximately 8 seconds flat, with MPG numbers coming in at 29 in the city, 39 on the highway, taking regular unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration tests here in our new Sentra, I did want to mention to you guys that there are actually a few different drive modes. Of course, there is normal. That is what the Sentra naturally defaults to. But by the driver's side left knee, there is an eco button. That is another one. And there is a hidden sport mode on the Sentra. I say hidden because it's not labeled sport. It's simply a horizontal line button located on the back side of the shifter here. And so if you press that like I just did, it did immediately downshift for me, so it is going to hold the RPMs at a much higher level. It's also going to adjust the throttle response then as well. So I do want to mention that to you guys because that is kind of the hidden drive mode that not a whole lot of people know about, unless you're watching my videos, of course. So go ahead and hit the subscribe and the bell notification button so you stay up to date on all that. But anyways, now that we got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway here, and let's see how quickly we can get our new Sentra here up to speed in the rain. All right, here's our straightaway, guys, in 3, 2, 1. A little bit of slippage. Well, it is wet out. Okay, I gotta say, I was focused on the acceleration, but what I was kind of more focused on, to be honest, was the CVT. Because I gotta say, that actually simulated a traditional automatic quite well, which is a very good thing in my opinion, because CVTs are traditionally known to be somewhat emotionless because it's like one giant rubber band kind of acceleration. But what Nissan did there with their CVT on the 2021 Sentra at least, it actually simulated an automatic quite well. I didn't mind that acceleration for that particular reason. So well done, Nissan. That kind of surprised me. And the acceleration was, I don't know, it was pretty much as expected. Not the quickest thing in the world, but it'll merge you onto the highway without any issues. But to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And actually, the brake configuration is going to differ amongst the trim levels, believe it or not. For example, if you were to go with the S trim level, you're going to get front disc rear drum brakes. However, if you jump up to the SV or SR, you are going to get 4-wheel disc brakes. So I wanted to mention that. And if you do go with that 4-wheel ventilated disc brakes, you will get a 60 to 0 stopping distance coming in at an impressive 114 feet. So a lot of times with sedans, you're in the 120s. So 114 feet is dang good, if I'm being quite honest. So well done, Nissan, for that. And as far as the braking feel goes, it's literally perfect. There's no brake pedal delay. There's no soft spots. It is a very nice braking feel, if I'm being honest there. But continuing on, touching on suspension and handling. Up front, you're going to get an independent strut type front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension. There is no flaws to the shape of the Sentra, so therefore visibility is perfectly fine. I can see perfectly fine out of my rear view mirror, so definitely no issues there. But that about rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2021 Nissan Sentra. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2021 Nissan Sentra, finished in Scarlet Ember. In case anybody was curious of our exterior color name, let's go ahead and start up front on this one. First thing I want to mention is a feature that you find on BMW and a lot of other luxury manufacturers, but active grille shutters actually do come standard across the board, meaning whenever the engine needs any additional cooling, those shutters are going to open up and then they will close back up then when that additional cooling is not needed, of course. So that's a pretty cool feature I'd like to mention. To the sides, halogen headlights do come with the S and SV trim levels. They do come with the automatic feature, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, they will turn on automatically for you there. LED daytime running lights also coming standard. You will actually get LED headlights though if you were to go with the SR trim level. Of course, that is not what you guys are looking at right now. Fog lights also coming with the SR trim level as well, just below. In the center though, chrome V motion front grille is going to come with the S and SV, and then you will actually get a dark chrome V motion front grille then if you were to go with the SR. But that pretty much rounds out the front. Let's go ahead and make our way now to the side of the Sentra here. So since we are around to the side, first thing I want to mention is there is actually a two-tone color scheme that is available for the Sentra, like a black roof, for example. It's a pretty cool look to it, so I did want to mention that. Chrome beltline molding does come standard on the Sentra. You can find a floating roof line along the C-pillar towards the back there. I think that's a pretty cool look. Take a look at the side mirrors. They are power adjustable side mirrors for all trims. They will be heated for the SV and SR trims, body colored for the S and SV, and then gloss black side mirrors for the SR. Then an SR is also actually going to give you LED integrated turn signals, so I did want to mention that as well. And take a look down at the wheel setup. 16-inch steel wheels with covers for the S trim level, 16-inch aluminum alloys for the SV, so therefore that is what you guys are looking at right now, and 18-inch aluminum alloys then for the SR trim level. I do want to also mention though that SR trim level is also going to give you essentially a lip kit around the entire exterior of this thing, so little added side skirts for the SR trim level at least as well. But now let's go ahead and make our way to the back of the Sentra. So since we are around back of this one, body colored shark fin antenna all the way to the top, you guys can see that. Just below that, a rear spoiler is actually only going to come standard with the SR. However, it is optional, of course, for the other trim levels, so we do have it here on our SV. Just below that, you can find some trim level badging as well, and just below all of that, you can actually find a body colored rear diffuser, which is pretty cool, coming with the SR and SV trim levels. And just below it all, there is actually a single exhaust outlet. It is tucked away, but having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. So now, since we are around back of the Sentra, to go ahead and open up that rear trunk, there is a button that you hold on the key fob. That is one way. There's also a button on the trunk itself, and there is a button by the driver's side left knee then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 14.3 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, there is a 60-40 split, meaning the rear seats do fold down, bumping that up quite a bit then. Also wanted to mention to you guys, in that cargo area, there is some cargo lighting back there, and if you were wondering if the Sentra had a fix-a flat versus a spare tire, if you lift up underneath of that cargo floor, it actually does have the full spare tire back there, so that is pretty cool. That's what I prefer personally. But then make our way to the rear legroom. That is going to come in at 34.7 inches, so for reference, I'm even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the second row there. Do want to also mention though, I was able to find a rear center armrest with cup holders, which is pretty cool, and there is a single USB charging port back there as well for the kids to stay charged up, so that is definitely a necessity in this day and age, of course. But so then make our way to the front seats. Manually adjustable cloth seats do come with the S and SV trim levels. You will find a sport cloth with orange stitching then if you were to go with the SR. Quilted leather is possibly the very best setup that I've ever seen in the Sentra. That is going to be optional for the SV trim level only. So this trim level that we have today, you can actually get quilted leather in. So that is a pretty cool look. If you guys want to look at Nissan's website for that one, that's pretty cool. Heated front seats then are going to be optional for the SV and SR trim levels then as well. And overall though, as far as the seat comfort goes that we have today in our cloth seats, I will say it is perfectly fine. I've had absolutely no issues with the seat comfort. I could easily see myself going on a long road trip here here in the new Sentra, so no issues there. Then take a look at the steering wheel. It is of course tilt and telescoping and is leather wrapped if you were to go with the SV or SR trim levels, and then heated steering wheel is actually going to be optional for the SV if you wanted that as well. Then make your way to the startup. Let me first start by showing you guys the key here. Essentially all of your buttons are located on one side of the key. Nissan logo at the top, lock, unlock button, pop the rear hatch, the circular button near the Nissan logo. That is going to be your remote start, which comes on the SV and SR trim levels only. But then if you were curious as to the push button start, that actually does come standard on all trim levels. So therefore, all I am going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just in front of the shifter. And so once started up, tachometer is on your left, speedometer is on your right. There is a fairly large digital display front and center to control what is on that digital display. There are steering wheel mounted controls found on the left side of the steering wheel. Gives you a ton of different information like trip A, trip B of course, but also how many miles you have left until you hit empty, which when I started driving this one said 365, so that is pretty darn impressive, especially in a compact car. Digital speedometer you can check out up there as well. Average fuel economy at any given time, of course tire pressure information, radio settings, safety information, the list goes on. Really just about everything you could possibly want up there. But then make your way to overall interior quality. If you wanted a power moonroof for the Sentra, it is going to be optional for the SV and SR trims. It doesn't come standard on any particular trim level, but you can still get it if you wanted to go that route. Dual zone climate control coming standard on the SV and SR, so both driver and passenger can set their own temperatures there. Auto dimming rear view mirror is going to be optional for the SR, and I did want to mention to you guys, we actually do have a package option that gives us a frameless rear view mirror with HomeLink controls to up to 3 different garage doors. I found that pretty cool. It is a $440 option, but I love that because the alternative is the clunky rattling garage door opener that clips to your sun visor. So I do like HomeLink whenever that is available for sure. Also, another option we have here is something called the lighting package that goes for $500. That gives you ground illumination at night and also interior ambient lighting then as well. But overall, interior quality is pretty much as I expected it to be. There are some hard plastics, but I do like the contrast stitching found just above the passenger side glove box. I like the circular air vents. They're very Audi-esque, so that is a pretty cool look for me. Just in front of the shifter, you have a 12-volt power outlet, USB charging port, phone charging port, and auxiliary charging port, kind of touching all bases there. Just beside the shifter, you have dual cup holders. Just behind that, a little bit of storage there as well. And within the center armrest, you can find a very deep amount of storage actually for a compact car, I will say that. So overall, the interior quality that we have here in our particular spec today, it's not bad, but like I said, if you go with that optional quilted leather look for the SV trim level, that is going to be the very best interior quality that you can get in the Sentra if that is important to you. But then take a look at the tech display. It is a 7-inch color touchscreen display for the S, 8-inch color touchscreen display for the SV and SR, Bluetooth and audio streaming coming standard either way, but here is the main new feature for the 2021 Sentra. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay is now standard for every single trim level, whereas it didn't come with the S trim level in previous years. It now does come with that base trim level of the Sentra, so you gotta love that. Essentially what that is if you have a smartphone, simply hook it up to the Sentra via USB cable, and you have free navigation displayed up on that tech display without having to buy any factory navigation system. Also, you can select your Pandora songs. There's a bunch of different compatible apps, so that is definitely a big deal to me, at least. But anyways, you can also check out your radio information up on that tech display. And by the way, when it comes to the sound systems, 4 speakers are going to come with the S, 6 speakers coming with the SV and SR. And there is one more optional sound system available. That is going to be an 8-speaker Bose sound system. We don't have that today. We do have the 6 speakers. So what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on Sirius XM here, see what we got playing today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Alright, so that was kind of a mixed bag for me. I gotta be honest, the bass was pretty good for a 6-speaker sound system, but when you turn it up a little bit louder, the clarity does get a little bit muffled the higher in the volume that you go. But then again, it is a 6-speaker sound system that's kind of what I expected, but not the clearest 6-speaker sound system that I've ever heard. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen at least is when you do put the Sentra in reverse, you will find a rear view camera that takes up the entire screen of the infotainment screen here, which isn't always the case. So that's why I emphasize that, which is always, though, is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, IIHS top safety pick if you go with the SR trim level, because it needs those LED headlights in order to get that designation. But front side curtain airbags do come standard, driver and passenger knee airbags as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system. That's all pretty boring at this point, but the good stuff that does come standard across the board, by the way: forward collision warning, autonomous emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane departure warning, rear automatic braking, a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert, rear parking sensors, a driver attention monitoring system, high beam assist, and lane trace assist as well. That is a good bit of standard safety, even for the base trim, even for the S trim level, I should say. So that is wonderful. Well done, Nissan, for that. But then, if you were to go with the SV and SR, you're also going to get adaptive cruise control then as well. So overall, subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. That is what we do here on this channel after all. I do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.